Hello everyone, this is Helen H. and welcome to my channel, Moss Cottage. I hope everyone is doing well today. I apologize, I think it's probably been about a week since I made a video. But I'll talk about that a little bit more in this video. I just wanted to show you two things that I got at the Salvation Army thrift shop that I went to recently. The first one was, I didn't know what it was when I picked it up, but look at this beautiful cover. It's like a vinyl-y plastic cover, but isn't that gorgeous? And what it is, it's actually a planner of some kind from 2020. But it has these tabs here for the days, or sorry, the months of the year going down the side here. And it's got to-do lists on the front. So it says to do in April 2020, and it's got the April here. Well, I don't care what the year is. I know what year it is. But then it's just got in the back a whole bunch of just writing paper. So if any of you have watched this channel for a while, you know I made 4 different journals, all from the same style box, to do the 4 seasons of nature journaling. And I was going to write down stuff for my garden, you know, what I was doing gardening wise and everything. Well, anyway, I'm really doing more research on gardening right now, on how to do container gardening better, so I get more better results from it. So I think those other journals, I've done nothing with them actually right now, are going to be more sketching journals of flowers I see, so on and so forth, which I said they weren't going to be because I'm not a good artist, but I think they are going to be. I'm going to give my hand to that. And this book right here, I think I'm just going to have one gardening book, even though I have 2 houses and I plant at both. I think I can still make one book work. I don't want to have one for there and one for here, because a lot of times I do my planning for up there here. So this is going to be my little gardening book right here. So this was really, I think it was $1, but it's a very sturdy book. And look at all this paper here. This paper you can buy, I know you can buy it at Target. I'm sure you can buy it at Walmart. But there's certainly enough in here that I will be writing in this for a good long time before I'm going to need new one. So the other thing I got at the Salvation Army, I haven't read it yet, and I've never seen anything like it. I just saw the side and I was like, well, what is this book? It's called The Psalms Project, and it's by Rachel Hendrick, and who has Mercy Creates. And what it is, it's 150 psalms that she's picked with 150 pieces of art, and it's all like abstract watercolor art. But sometimes she puts prompts on the side. Sometimes she puts a prayer on the side. Sometimes there's nothing. It's just the psalm. But most of it looks like there's prompts and stuff for you to do. And the psalm is actually written on the piece of art, the abstract art. So I'm going to be doing this daily, like filling it in. But I thought maybe I also might, from time to time, just try to emulate her. And I say emulate, I'm not saying copy her work, but let's just say, okay, I love these colors, so maybe that would inspire me just to make my own little watercolor art using these colors, you know, or something. Or what does the psalm speak to me? What would I paint if I was going to do an abstract for that particular psalm? Now, I'm not going to do this 150 days in a row. This might take me 3 years to get through it. But I also thought, you know, at the end, maybe just taking some of this artwork out and using it in other journals and stuff, because it's just gorgeous. So this had a lot of potential, and like I said, it's a beautiful book, never been written in or anything. It does have the little it says, Anne, happy birthday, 3/20/21. That's all it has in it. Everything else is untouched. So I got this book for 50 cents. So I thought, yes, I'll take that, because that's a whole lot of inspiration right there, you know. So anyway, especially if you know I've been doing like a lot of abstract collage, abstract watercoloring lately, whatever. So I thought we would play with the papers, the painting papers I made and make something else with them because we made them. And again, I will put the link to the back of this video for when I made these painting papers. But then I think between then and now, you will also find another video or two where I have actually used the papers. What inspired me for today's little project, there's going to be a lot of chit chat, by the way. So when I'm gluing and whatever, I'm not going to be talking a whole lot about that because I got a lot to tell you. Anyway, I made quite a while ago a bunch of these little bookmarks here. It's just mixed media paper in the back with a stamp image on the front and a sentiment. The back is just plain white, but it's got some watercolor on it from when I did the front. And then I laminated it with the Dollar Tree self-laminating sheets. And then I put some little eyelash trim on it. Now, I made a whole bunch of these. They had different sayings on them, the different faces and everything. And I had them in my Bible because I have so many things going on at one time, different Bible studies, different devotionals, whatever, that I have a lot of places that I need to keep bookmarks. I also read a lot, so I need bookmarks for those books. Well, over time, because these are laminated, I have lost all but this one. It has slipped out of my Bible. Either I'm assuming at church, maybe in the parking lot, whatever. I didn't find them in my car, and they're not in my house, so I'm assuming somewhere they did fall out. And this is the last one I have left. So I love these little bookmarks. I love these faces, and I'll show you that stamp in a minute. But I thought I'm going to go ahead and make some more of these bookmarks, but I'm not going to laminate them because the lamination with a thin Bible, the thin paper that Bibles are usually printed on, is a very slippery combination. So I figure I'm going to make some more of these little bookmarks, but not laminate them, and hopefully they will stick, in the books a little bit better. So we've got the delicious Painty papers. They've got things cut out, wedges, shapes, whatever. Wonderful. I started a little bookmark. I had cut some mixed media paper into shapes when I did some other collage art, and I had these strips left over. And so I'm going to be using these as the bookmarks. They're not tremendously long because my Bible is not that long. But you can stick it so it's sticking out the top, right? So I'm going to go ahead and work on these to make these into bookmarks, but I just want to show you, I already started one. So this is one of these. There were 3 of these pieces of paper. And I went ahead and did the process that I did in my prayer journal where I did the edges and then outlined it with the black, which I think looks really good. Now, I did the front and back on this bookmark, but we'll talk about that. If I remember, we'll talk about that a little bit too. So what I did was, just to save time, I did go ahead and print out some images. I have these 2 little birds, and then this is one of these face stamps. These stamps right here, you probably all have them, but I'll show you in case you don't and you're interested. The woman face stamps, because this one is the same as this bookmark, but there's others. This is, is it Dina Wakley? I think these are Dina Wakley or Diana Reevely. I think they're Ranger. They are Ranger stamps. I think these are Dina Wakley, if I'm not mistaken. But there's all different women face stamps. Some I'm not that crazy about. But on the side here is a whole bunch of stamps, words: strong, loyal, bold, brave, fierce, worthy, so on and so forth, that you can use, on your project to go with the women, right? So I used this stamp for this one. And then the other one, it's the same person or the same type of stamps. I know they're a Ranger product, but I'm not sure who the designer are. And I think these are called Sketchy Birds, or that doesn't sound right, does it? Sketchy Birds or Scribble Birds or something. But these are adorable pictures too. So this little guy here is what I did this one in, okay? But whatever stamps you have, guys, remember this is all about using what you want or using what you have. And also remember, when you make the painting papers, we're keeping them really thin. We're not piling on cardstock and everything. We want them thin and pliable so that we can use them on easily on collage projects, okay? So let's go ahead and I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and color her in real quick, and then we'll go ahead and cover one while I'm talking about other things. So the ones that I made where I lost them all, except for this one, these were done. The watercolor that I used to paint her face and her shirt and everything, these were Target's own watercolor crayons, okay? Because at the time, that's all I had. I still love those crayons. Target's own brand of watercolor crayons. I think there's eight or 10 in the pack. It was like $2 something, but that was a long time ago, so I'm sure, you know, it's probably $5 now. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and use my Vicki Boutin watercolor crayons just because that's what I have here. And being a Helen video, she's not prepared, so I have no water except for this. I'm not even drinking a glass of water right now. So let me just grab a paintbrush here, and I'm going to go and probably dip in here. So I'm just going to watercolor her because we need to let her dry a little bit before we attach her to the bookmark, okay? And I know you're not going to be able to feel this because we don't have feel-o-vision yet, but this is a lot more grippy than the very slick laminated bookmark. This I don't think is going to fall out as easily. Plus it is a little bit bigger. You can see all this is bigger, so there's more to hold in there. So anyway, let's go ahead and get her painted. I'm just going to pull out some colors real quick. I can't see them in the box. I have to pull them out. And we're just going to color her while I talk to you a little bit. Nothing, you know, when people say, oh, I need to talk to you, they're like, oh, well, this can't be good. You know, the way they said, I need to talk to you. Well, I do need to talk to you. And I'm going to be truthful about this. You know, I did the watercolor, or I'm sorry, I'm watercoloring, so I said that. I did the Painty papers, the collage papers, because in that video, I told you that I had no art mojo. My art mojo was like nil. And, you know, just making the Painty papers was something that I could really do because it was two things that I like, which is gluing paper to paper and also just slapping on paint. You know, there's not a lot of fine skill and attention needed in that because I didn't have any, and I didn't have any mojo to do that kind of thing. Well, it hasn't really gotten any better. So my mojo is still extremely low, and so a part of it is making videos. People who don't make videos don't understand, I think, how much time and effort it takes to make a video, or a video that anybody would want to watch and come back. You know, it's more work than you think. Even just thinking, what am I going to do in a video to make it, you know, what am I going to make today, right? So it is a way more work than people think. And that's a part of the problem because it's just becoming too much for me to deal with. And I love every one of you. All my subscribers are precious to me. And when I started this channel, my whole reason for doing this is to provide inspiration to people, to do art, to make art, to be in the Word, you know, to keep journals, you know, and everything. You know, there's so much that I do on this channel, right? It's not just one thing. Anyway, I feel almost that I can't inspire you anymore because I'm not inspired, if that makes any sense. So I'm in a decision period right now, and I'm going to be praying about it, about what to do about YouTube. Do I keep going? Do I quit altogether? What do I do? Because I honestly don't know. And the Lord has really impressed on me to cut out some of the, I'm just going to say this. If you see, I'm just randomly painting here. I'm just using these watercolor crayons, and I have absolutely no plan here. Anyway, the Lord has really impressed on me that I should dial back the social media. Well, any of you who are close to me know I don't do Instagram. I don't do TikTok. I have a Facebook account, but it's hard pressed for me to even go on Facebook. I just don't. When I get on there, it's like I have 120 messages or whatever, because I just don't. So I don't do that kind of mixed media. I do spend a lot of time on YouTube. I spend probably way too much time on YouTube. And, I'm going to ask for clarification, but I have a feeling that is the issue, is mostly YouTube. Because I just don't do anything else. So, I'm feeling one of the things that he's leading me to is to take a week of complete social media silence. And the only exception to that would be Etsy, because of my Etsy shop. But I don't do a whole lot on Etsy. I haven't been putting a whole lot in the shop lately. Summer is usually a very slow time because everybody's doing other stuff, right? And that could be a part of my problem too. I want to do other stuff. There's so much other stuff to do. But if you make videos, you're going to get what I'm going to say. There's always that nagging in the back of your brain saying, I got to make a video. I got to get a video out. I got to get a video out. And I don't want that. I'm getting kind of tired of that naggy voice. At this point in where I am in this journey, I have not gotten the message from the Lord that I need to give up my channel completely. If he tells me to, in a heartbeat, I will do it. But I don't feel at this point that is the message I am getting. I need to take a week off, a solid week from, I don't know if you can tell from this. She has eyelids. So I'm just putting a tiny bit, this is kind of like a tealy color. I'm just putting a tiny bit of teal on her eyelids there. I'm feeling like he's telling me to take a total week off of social media, and that means watching videos, making videos, Pinterest, anything, and just take a break. A part of me is terrified by that because these are the things I love to do usually. And a part of me is very excited by that because I'm thinking if I'm not doing all those things, then I can be making art and I can be gardening. I can be sitting outside and reading a book and doing other things that I enjoy. So I'm going to just cap this off because we know where that I can spill that at any minute if I don't. So anyway, I'm just going to let her dry. She's done. We're going to put her aside, and she will go on this bookmark, but we're just going to let her dry because I don't want to attach her while that paper is still a little bit damp. I don't know when this week is going to start. I'm not clear on that. It might be this week. It might be next week. I just don't know yet when that's going to start. But I will certainly let you know somehow. Or if I go radio silent and you don't see me, it could be that he's told me now. That means I can't make another video to tell you I need to take a week off. So if I go, and if it's more than a week, it's more than a week. I just have to do what I feel he's telling me. All right, so we're going to take one of these. I don't want to talk your ears off, but we're going to take one of these, and these are just leftover pieces from when I made this one. So I'm not throwing away painting paper, you know that's not happening. So I'm just going to cut up, and this is what I did for this one. I didn't look. I just randomly, let me get my bigger scissors here. I just randomly cut some pieces off the paper, not even looking at them, just randomly cutting the pieces off. And then, you know, using the different papers, right? Using each sheet. So, oh, it's supposed to be random, Helen. No looking. I'm cheating. But I'm just going to cut this end off because it has this weirdness. So let's go ahead and do that one. So anyway, also another thing that a part of this is I really have a great desire to simplify my life. And that is all areas of my life. So a part of that is, you know, well, the obvious is, you know, cleaning out your closets, decluttering, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it's also decluttering, like, my computer. Like, I'm going to go through, I'm going to get rid of pictures I don't want anymore. I'm going to, or need anymore. I've got a lot of Etsy pictures that I took for a product that's on my Etsy shop. Now, again, I'm just going to be talking and gluing. You see what I've done, right? I've cut up some strips. You'll just see me cut them up, and I'm just fitting them together in some kind of random-ish pattern. Okay, this is all this is. What was I talking about? Oh my gosh, there we go. It's gone. Think, Helen, think. What were you talking about? Simplifying my life, yes. So when somebody subscribes to my channel, in my hope that they will start a channel themselves for something that I can watch, I have subscribed to most of you. Maybe not if you subscribed to my channel recently, but certainly when I started my channel out. If you subscribed to me, whether you made videos or not, I subscribed to you. Well, by doing that, I now have over 500 channels I'm subscribed to. And the good majority, I'm assuming, do not even make videos. So if you do not make videos, and if you're even checking and you see that I have unsubscribed to you, please note it has nothing to do with you and, you know, what I feel about you or whatever. It is purely me trying to clear up my YouTube subscription pages so that I can actually watch the people who do make videos that, you know, YouTube doesn't always put people in front of us. You know, you could be subscribed to someone with the notification that I want all videos from this person, and you may not get them. Or they may go behind your back and unsubscribe you when you don't even know. So please, if I've unsubscribed from your channel and you do not make videos, please do not take it personally. If you start to make videos, let me know. I will be more than happy to support your channel. I will watch your videos. I will share your videos, you know, whatever. But if you don't make videos, just know it's nothing personal. It is just Helen trying to simplify her list of people who do make videos that she's trying to support evenly. There are people I want to watch, but I don't have time necessarily to watch. And when I go through that list, I get totally overwhelmed by all the names on there. Now, I'm going to go on again, and this is going to step on some toes, but it is nothing personal. Please understand, this is purely from a time perspective and what my life is right now, and how it is for me. I'm trying to pick something that's complementary. I'm not actually, since I cut these off random pieces, I'm not sure which, you know, I don't want to put the same piece next to the same piece, if that's making any sense. So here goes my other thing, and I know this is going to probably step on some toes, and just please understand, you know, I do work. I have my own business, that is not YouTube and it's not Etsy. It is my antique business, which also I feel I have really been kind of neglecting to the benefit of YouTube and whatever. But this isn't making me any money. You know, my job is my job. That's where I make my money. And, you know, I'm 62 years old. I need to be making as much money as I can now before I retire. So if you make videos, and I am a subscriber of yours, if you make more than one video a week, please do not take it personally if I do not watch all of your videos. Some of you are just pumping out the videos and it's great content and it's fun and everything, but I cannot watch your videos if you make more than one a week. If you make videos that are over an hour, I probably will not be watching your videos. It's just impossible for me at this time to do that. And I think probably if you make videos, you kind of understand that, because you know, when you make videos and you're trying to watch other people's videos also, and you just feel almost at points like you're drowning. And that's not what it's about. I want to inspire you. I don't want to be on here grudgingly. I don't want to be on here stressed, you know, or anything like that. I want to be on here creating, having fun, keeping it light. And I know that this is probably a pretty heavy video right now, but I don't intend it to be. I just want to explain that I love you all, and please do not take these things personally, okay? If I decide, or the Lord decides for me that I'm not to carry on with my YouTube channel, I will definitely make a video and let you know that, okay? So that's that. We're not going to talk about that anymore. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments. You know, I read all my comments. I try to answer all of my comments. So, you know, you can just put it down there. Okay, so I've got various, you know, the various sundry papers on here, like I did the other one. Let's just put a little small, I'm not real happy with this. It's too dark. I think what happened was I smudged the stencil, or it got too wet, and the stencil, you know what that was? That was bubble wrap, and I got like too much bubble wrap or something on there. So let's go ahead and lighten that up a little bit if we can. Let's go ahead and cut a little tiny piece from this. I love scribble. I love the Asemic writing, even though mine doesn't look anything like writing. It's kind of Asemic looking. Let's go ahead and, we don't need it actually that big. Let's just put a little square here to break up these black blobs where I know I did. I'm remembering now I had too much paint on that bubble wrap when I did that. I got it between the little bubble things and then smushed down, and then it just made a big blob. So that was that. So, yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I didn't make a video for a week because I've been super busy. And where is it? Okay. If any of you live within a day's drive of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, or Branson, Missouri, guys, you have got to go see Daniel at the Sight and Sound Theater. Okay, if you've been to the Sight and Sound Theater, you know they put on the best productions. All of their productions are accounts of biblical happenings. This is the account of Daniel's life in Babylon. And if you have been to Sight and Sound Theater, you know they blow it out of the water. There is no other theater like the Sight and Sound Theater. Daniel is even 10 times better than any other show I've seen at Sight and Sound. They have incorporated CGI into the screens, not only behind the hard set props in the front, which are computerized and constantly like changing with the scenes. And I'm talking 5-story high. If you've never been there, the theater is like 5 stories high. The stage is 270 degrees. It's 2 sides and the front, and there's stuff everywhere, like on the sides and the front. They use live animals. It's just phenomenal. But now these screens that are 5-story high are using CGI, but they also have CGI built in to some of the hard props they're using too, to bring those projections forward. I have never seen anything like it. It's just phenomenal. So guys, if you live near Branson or you live near Lancaster, look when Daniel is playing. It is in Lancaster right now. I'm not sure if it's in Missouri right now. Somebody told me, and I don't know if this is true or not, and I kind of believe it though, because the cost of the productions, this book has a little thing inside about how the productions and what goes into them. 140 people worked for 4 years to put on the production of Daniel. These things are all over the sets and stuff. It's just, okay, they use 13,000 yards of fabric in Daniel, and that's enough to wrap around the theater 50 times. And I'm talking about glittery, shiny, beautiful fabrics, because remember, this Daniel spent most of his life in Babylon. I just have to feel where that one ends. Anyway, so if you guys can go, you have to go. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. I'm gonna give one spoiler alert, but you'll forget if you go to see it anyway. There's a scene where in the background, on the CGI, there are birds flying around. Well, you know, if you've been to Sight and Sound, you know what I'm going to say next. They had real birds too. And so the birds are flying from the CGI screen, and then they release a whole bunch of real birds. These are doves, and they fly up over the audience to... they're trained to go to where the sound booth is. I'm assuming that's where they're... What do birds have, a hutch? Or is that bunnies? I don't know. To wherever they're going. Just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so I did the front of this one. Okay, outlined it. I didn't outline the outside of this one. But looking at this one, I'm thinking that it might look better outlined. But before I do that, what I'm going to do... Oh, I have to reach. Is round the edges. I did round the edge on this one. And I do like the round edges on the bookmarks. So I'm going to go ahead and round the edges on this one. And you're going to say, Helen, you didn't put anything on the back. No, I didn't put anything on the back. On this one, I did. On the other one that I made that I lost all the other ones, there wasn't anything on the back. But you couldn't write on the back because it was laminated. So what I'm thinking is, because I'm making these specifically for my Bible, I might only make them one-sided and not put anything on the back, because that would allow me to write some notes if I wanted to about the book that I'm reading, or the book of the Bible that I'm reading. If you aren't going to use these for your Bible, but you want to just use them for your pleasure reading books like novels or whatever, you might also want to leave the back empty, so that you can just write your thoughts about what you're reading, or what caught you about the book, or something like that. So you might want to leave the back blank, or you might want to fill it in. It doesn't make any difference. No, you do what you need to do. So, think, what am I using these bookmarks for? But these are you can stick this in an envelope and send this to someone for Happy Mail, right? Just send them a little bookmark. You can, or send them a little bookmark, write a little note on the back, and pop it in the mail. Tell them you're thinking about them, and, you made that little bookmark for them, right? Okay, so now we're going to go back to this one. I'm putting that one to the side, and we're going to pull this one out. So what I did was I pulled out the one that I had made that I loved so much, to see what I had done, to it, to make it, the way it looks, because I really like the way it looks. And I did right around it. And then, again, Helen being so unprepared, we're going to have to see if this is even going to work. Got some thin markers here. First of all, it looks like I inked the edge of this, the girl picture. It looks like I inked it in black. So let me go ahead and get my black ink. And let me get, what am I going to use to ink it? Oh, let's use this. This is the black one. Let's just see about inking the edge in black. And, this is where you guys have your liberty to do whatever it is you want to do. Is this black or blue? No, it's black. Okay. So, I'm just going to ink it a little bit. Just so it's not, when you ink it or outline or something, it just kind of makes it look like stuff's not stuck on stuff, right? It kind of blends it in a little bit. And I'm doing a really haphazard job on inking here. And it's okay, because I noticed what else I did with these pens is I put a border around her. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is, what day is today? Thursday, okay. So this weekend, Saturday, I am going to a powwow at the Mattaponi Indian Reservation, which I'm super excited about. I think I told you all, my sister and nephew and I went to visit the reservation a couple weeks ago. And they told us, the woman who gave us the tour of the museum told us about the powwow. Now, I'm looking here, and you know what? I also outlined this. I didn't round the corners on this. I outlined it. But I think I'm going to do that with this one, too. I double outlined it, so I can do that. And I'm going to do it with the thin marker. I'm not going to use the big Sharpie marker because I think that's going to be just a little bit too much. And I'm just going to go to the ends, and I'm going to do what I did here, just, where you do the crossover. I'm not going to try to be precious with this. Yeah, so we had gone to the reservation a couple weeks ago and had a private tour, and that the woman who gave us a tour, she is a Native American from the Mattaponi tribe, and she told us about the powwow this weekend and said get the word out. So I did go on Facebook today, much to my own horror, but I did share their the link to their Facebook page for the powwow. Never been to one before. Let me know if you've been to a powwow before. I think the Mattaponi in this area number about 400. Only 60 live on the reservation at this time. But I asked her, is the powwow somewhat of a homecoming? And she said it was. So, the Mattaponi who don't live on the reservation, but who are within a reasonable amount, I guess, from this area. No, not anybody who's moved to Washington State. Although I don't know how powerful this is for them to come every year. But anyway, they're expecting about 400 Mattaponi to come to the powwow. And of course, there'll be traditional dance, food, all kinds of explanations on their way of life and everything. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. My sister came down from New York because she wanted to go. Unfortunately, my nephew had to go back to England, so he really wanted to go, but he has a job. He had to go back home, so he will miss it. I told him we'd take some video, and then we'll find out as soon as we can when next year's is, next summer, so that, maybe he could plan to be over here for that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put her on here as straight as I can. You know what? I need to move her down a tiny bit because I want to put fringe in it. Because like my junk journals, guys, I always love to have stuff hanging out of my books. And my Bible's no exception. And sometimes, like in Bible study, if I find something, but it's not like the book we're reading, like right now, my Wednesday night Bible study, we're doing the book of Amos. But if in my study I found out that I cross-referenced Matthew something and I wanted to share with them something about Matthew, I'll stick a bookmark in there and just say, remember, it's the green one that you need to go to. So I'm not like, hold on a second. Where was that scripture I wanted to share with them? Okay, look how cute. Isn't that cute? I love it. I love it. So we know the only other thing that she needs now is, I got to reach again, is a hole right here. And I did put a brad in, not a brad, an eyelet in this one. But since I'm not prepared and my eyelets are 6 feet away from me, my arms are long. I do have extremely long arms, but they're not 6 feet long, I'm happy to say. So we're not putting an eyelet in this one. We're just going to go for it. Okay, there we go. So I punched my hole there, and again, I'm unprepared. Let me see what I have in my basket of goodies here to see if there's something I can tie from the top here that I wouldn't mind hanging out. Oh, here's all right, let's use something from here. This is just a hodgepodge of different ribbons around a piece of cardboard. I must have gotten this, I don't know. I didn't do this. I don't know who put this on here. I don't think it was me. Anyway, I'm going to use this. It's a very, almost like seam binding. If you know what seam binding is, it's that thin, it crinkles real well. Well, this is crinkled well. It's like very thin, like narrow, the seam binding, but the edges are like glittered. So I'm like, yes, please, that looks good. So let's just go ahead and snip a little bit there. So it's beautiful here right now, but it's going to get brutally hot today. Oh, well, actually for the next week, we're having like record high temperatures here on the East Coast, at least where I am in Virginia. And so I took my walk this morning, and I am at this, as we speak, dehydrating some of my Egyptian walking onions that I got from the cabin, but they are dehydrating outside because you don't want to dehydrate onions inside because your house will stink. Now, I'm wondering, there are like bits of purple here. Should I double this? Because I got the same, see, it's like, oh, it's different colors. I see. Okay, that same piece was green, and then it goes into purple, and then it kind of goes back into green. Let's do another one. Why not? Let's have fun. Let's add some extra bling bling to this bookmark, right? The more things dangling out of a book, the better. But anyway, so yeah, so I got all of that done. I got my walk done. I got my onions dehydrated. I watered my garden. Well, my garden, which is my containers that I'm growing my veggies in and herbs. What did you do, Helen? Oh, you didn't go through with both sides. Okay, let's try this again. What are you doing? Come on, girlfriend. Let's get this right here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so anyway, I'm super busy, and I want to be outside, although not the next week because it's just going to be too stinking hot. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so I really needed to make this video. First of all, I wanted to play with some of my Painty papers some more because I just love them. And second of all, because, see now, if you had done it the right way and not the Helen way, you could have pushed them together, like the two pieces together, and then stuck them through. But now I've got two little dooley watts up here, but that's okay. It's fine. And then we're just going to give it a little haircut. Okay, there we go. I don't want the tabs too long, because if you have them too long, then they get caught in other things, and then you end up pulling your bookmark out when you didn't mean to. But now I've got these little fabric thingies, and you know me, I can't throw anything away. What if we put like a little piece of fabric on the front of the bookmark? That would actually also add some more grab. The fabric will add, let's do that. I'm not throwing those other pieces away either. I might not use them on this bookmark, but I will use them on something. Let's get this again. This is art glitter glue. I just put it in this little needle nose bottle. because sometimes you just need it. I've got the, I think I've got the 8-ounce bottle, and you know, that stuff comes out really fast from that bottle. You really need, if you've got small, delicate things, to put it in a smaller little bottle. Okay, so we got that little purple strip there, and I know it's not straight. It's terribly hard to get something that thin, that straight. But now let's see here. We've got a little piece that has the green. Oops. Let's cut that. Put that there. Or should we put it? No. Okay, we're going to put it here next to this purple one. Just plop this down. You can put whatever you want on there. I wouldn't go too thick though, because it is a bookmark. You know, you don't want to have, like, especially if you're using them in your Bible or a reference book where you know you're going to have several of them. You don't want to get it so fat that your book starts to gator mouth, right? Just because of your bookmarks. And I'm cutting a tiny little piece where it's green again. And I think I am going to put it right here. Because why not? We want to use up the stuff we have. So I'm enjoying this immensely, but I do have other things I've got to get onto, so I'm not going to keep you much longer. And like that. The end of that piece is a little bit tatty, but I don't care. I like it. I like it a lot. You know what, though? This is bothering me here to have put these in both as separate pieces. So I'm going to put them in together because that just makes more sense. All right, so what I meant was to put them together as 2 pieces and then stick it in so you only have one knot. Well, it's not a knot, but you know, one hole to slip through here. Okay, there we go. And you can use different kinds of fiber. I'm just using these because these happen to be on my desk. But I have made tags and bookmarks with different kinds of fiber, like maybe some of this, and then use some eyelash fiber. Okay, that totally didn't work. Look, I just pulled that out. Okay, let's try that once more. Then I promise, well, you know, you can turn this video off anytime you want, but I'm going to say I promise I'll let you go. I just want to get these up in here. Oh, you know what happened? Because I cut them short. That's why I'm having trouble getting them back in here. Because remember, after I put the original ones in there, I gave it all a haircut. That's what I'm using on the front, right? Okay. Don't do it this way. Do it the right way. The way I'm telling you. Okay, so this is still, oh no, there we go. Okay. We got it. We can do this, Helen. This is not rocket science. Yay, there we go. It's not even, but that's great. Okay, because see, now I only have one of these instead of the 2. I like that better. Okay, that's it. That is it. I'm going to leave it there. I do have some other little pieces cut off here, and I do have this other naked one and the bird. So I will make at least another one, if not more. I might make more as I need them. But like I said, I really had a whole bunch in my Bible, and now I only have one. And even though I get some in the mail from like the Christian radio station that they give me and stuff, I really prefer to have my own little artwork in books, because then every time you take it out or you see it, it's just your little thing, right? Or at least a handmade one. You know, if somebody sent me a bookmark, I put it in there, it would remind me of them every time I saw it, right? So that's it right there, that cutie little girl, that cute little bookmark. And then I have my started one that I will work on some more with the little bird picture after I get it painted up. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understand what I'm talking about needing to take a break. Not sure if it's forever, for a week, when that week will be. It may just be, at least for now, that I will only be putting up one video a week. It might be that, but if I feel that the Lord's telling me it's done, I need to stop, I will certainly make a definite video announcing that that's the end. I don't feel that. I just feel like I need to step back right now, and I don't have clarification on what that looks like yet. So hang in there with me, guys. And, you know, like I said, if you don't make videos and I've unsubscribed to your channel, it has nothing to do with anything other than me just trying to clean up some lists, okay? So guys, I hope you liked this video. I hope you make some bookmarks. Make some bookmarks with your kids. Make some bookmarks for your girlfriends, your co-workers, your church mates, whatever, and just give them out as little pieces of love from yourself to somebody else. It's a super easy thing to do, and it's a wonderful way to use up some of our Painty papers, right? All right, guys. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I ask that you do. And until the next video, guys, I hope you're all truly blessed. Bye-bye.